director, technical operations. This will be essentially the chief of staff position for the team, who will be responsible for spot checking the crews and making sure they're following the approved standard operating procedures. And there will also be an assistant public works director for business operations. This candidate will be somebody who will be involved with procurement, the business aspect of public works. They're going to be looking at efficiencies. Does it make sense to contract out certain types of work to contractors? Does it make more sense to do it in-house? So that's kind of a brief overview of the leadership team for Public Works. We plan to hire 35 full-time employees. And if you haven't seen the advertisement, I'm trying to blast it far and wide. If you have people you know who might be interested in a Public Works career, or maybe they don't have a background in Public Works, they might be interested, encourage them to apply. So on top of the 35 full-time employees, we'll have multiple subcontractors that will partner with. So go ahead and advance it. So these are our primary subcontractors we plan on using for Public Works. I'm going to flip to my page here to talk about what they will be doing. So we plan on utilizing DEG, who is our current subcontractor under the administrative contract. They are going to employ members who will be doing the GIS operations for the city. They're also going to be overseeing utility permits and right-of-way oversight, and also have a drainage engineer who will assist with work orders. The team needs direction about how to go about resolving an issue or drainage issue by the technical engineer's expertise. That was something that the city has made known. This is something that we need to do going forward, so we're not doing one-time fixes. Also, part of our team is GoTech. They'll be providing inspections and technical support. We'll also be using Central Construction. They are permanently used at Central as well. They supply laborers and fill up, I think, about 12 positions on the field crews that we'll have in St. George. They will also have 2 off-road drainage crews that will be doing programmatic drainage maintenance of the off-road drainage systems. Also on our team is Grady Property Construction. They do a lot of the work that you see around the city right now. They actually have a contract with EDR, and we're going to be transitioning them onto our team in St. George. And they're going to be focused on the really intense work orders that involve a lot of digging around utilities. Trench boxes are required. They're going to be working on more sophisticated work orders. Also on our team is Angelo. They are a St. George company. They're going to be assisting with landscaping and vegetation efforts in the city, whether it's grass cutting, weed control, that sort of thing. Rain seasons is going to be performing a similar function for us. I mentioned Safety Pro Resources earlier, the Delta Resource Group. We also plan on using Harmful Electric. They are going to be servicing all of the traffic signals and school flashing signs, that sort of thing. And we're also going to be using Etopic services for CCTV inspections and some drainage issues. And also RCL, they'll be involved with inspections as well. So go ahead and fix it. So since we have been part of the team in St. George, we know a lot of the priorities of the city and the council and what the citizens are trying to see. As we know, beautification is very important, and that's going to be one of our main priorities moving forward. And as we start to assemble our teams and get started in the city, we're going to really prioritize the things that people see, whether it's cleaning up intersections, cutting the grass, doing some street sweeping. You may not know this or have service in the past, but street sweeping has a really big impact on how things look. In Central, for example, we started a regular street sweeping program, and you can tell when you enter the city from EDR, you know you're in Central because the roads are cleaned up. So that's one of our main focuses. We're also going to be looking at a lot of this deferred maintenance that the parish has just not pursued. We're going to look at the work orders and develop a plan for attacking them. looking at some of the ones that are have most safety issues. And then finally, we're going to really emphasize communicating with the public. We're using Delta Resource Group to help communicate the activities going on. We're going to highlight a lot of the good things going on in the city. We're going to do a lot of before and after photos. And so those are the three main priorities that we'll be working on as we start operations in the city. We're really going to be focused on the optics. So once the contract is signed, which we're hoping we can get that accomplished soon, we're looking at a tentative start date of November 1st to go live on operations. That's going to be the point in which people can contact the city of St. George and request that certain work be performed or investigated. So once the contract is signed, we will secure utilities for our proposed laydown yard, as well as doing improvements. I'll get to a slide in a little bit that will show you our proposed laydown yard and talk a little bit about what we have to get done to that yard before we can start mobilizing crews and equipment to it. We're going to be establishing a work order tracking system using Trello. We'll have to do a temporary solution until our more permanent platform is developed for public works. But as the mayor saw yesterday, we have a really good solution to work with for the time being. And then we're also going to be actively procuring heavy equipment, furniture, uniforms, just making sure that everybody's on the same page about our standard operating procedures. So these are some of our initial items we're going to be handling once the contract is signed. So I'm going to flip to the next. So we are proposing to use Trello for tracking all of the work requests that come in. It's actually pretty intuitive. And it's going to be a good solution for the city to use until they get GovOps set up. And so, provided we start on November 1st, citizens will be able to go to the city's website, type in their name, their issue. If you see that box in the middle that says work request, that's the information they're going to fill in. They can attach photos, what their issue is, and we'll get it. And so we'll investigate it, and we'll assign it to crews and follow up and make sure the work is completed and close it out. We'll also have the capability to view all the work orders on a map. For example, if you look at the right side of that slide, that's identifying a sample work order. So we'll be able to tell where the work requests are coming from. Maybe there's some problematic areas that we need to attend to that might be more than just a quick fix. But this is our plan for work requests. So next slide. This is our proposed laydown yard. It's on Cloverland, which is off of Seagan in the Flex area. Once the contract is signed with us, we'll need to make some improvements to the property before we can have employees show up to it. It needs some repairs, it needs a new staircase. We'll need to secure the gates. There's actually two entrances to this property, which is a plus because in the event of a disaster, one side is blocked, use the other for entrance. So once we get the contract signed, we can start immediately working on improvements. We already have a quote to get things done. And then we can start mobilizing to the allocation. So I think that's about what I have. Scott, if you want to sit here, I'll be available later if you have questions, but Scott's going to take over this next section here.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So, year one operations, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're going to assemble the right team to do it, just like we've done with the administration contract. The first step will be to, as Nat mentioned, to establish our safety protocols, make sure that we keep everybody safe and that they know how to operate the equipment. So that's part of the onboarding process, getting everybody ready. As we bring new people on, we'll make sure that they stay safe. People who stay safe and keep working. Then, as Matt went through the work order process, we'll start educating our people on how we're going to utilize that process, and we'll start implementing the new permanent software, GovWell, in order to be able to push projects forward. So establishing a maintenance plan is, in our schedule, is going to be one of our biggest priorities. What we propose to do is to look at everything that has been entered into the Q Alert system since July the 1st, and communicate to the public that anything that's older than that we initialize some of those because there's an extended backlog dating back several years in the Q Alert system, and then there it shows that they're all on hold, transferred to St. George. So we'll be communicating with the public to help resource how we can reinitialize some of those older work orders. We have to control our inventory and the taxpayers' assets. So as we bring on this equipment, we will be tagging it and tracking it through our financial reporting software. Matt mentioned our GIS database and communicating information to the public about where projects are in progress. We'll be doing that. And all of the things that I know that we're all interested in will finally get underway. Our potholes, and our striping, and our litter, and our street sweeping, everything that drainage-wise, debris removal, all of those processes will begin, and we'll be thinking of drainage system in the same way you might think of a circulatory system. We'll start thinking about our arteries and working our way out to the veins and into the capillaries, and making sure that the whole thing is restored to good working order. So GovWell is the permanent tracking system that we're going to have in order to be able to keep track of the projects as they go. And it's user-friendly, it's mobile app ready, and I think it's going to be something that citizens will really like. You'll notice that the last thing on this slide says that it notifies citizens when the requests have been received, when they've been reviewed, and when they've been completed. So if the citizen has a notification in the GovWell system, it's their, almost like your Uber driver. You'll know as the progress goes and it gets closer to completion, you'll be able to see that, and then when the project's complete, you'll know that. Here. Amen, right? Yeah. And then, next slide. This is a little something that we talk about our IBTS team and the relationship that we've developed thus far. Some of the reasons why I think that you chose IBTS is because we're local and invested. We share a lot of the same values and mission. I was really proud to see us honor Charlie Kirk and say a prayer tonight. Councilman Edmonds, thank you for that. Speaking of values, I was grateful for the opportunity to recognize Jennifer Richardson here tonight. And I participated on one of her teams before, and I check out pick up trash. And I had sweat running down my football. We employ licensed professionals, us and our DDG team. I think we have some of the best people in this area in order to deliver services to the city of St. George. The best and the brightest are part of the St. George team. Us being a part of IBTS and the central team means that we have other resources here in the local area that we have a little bit of something extra that we need to take on, that we have resources that we can pull from and expand the size and capability of our team. So I know I'm biased, but I do think you made the right choice in choosing IBTS. I'm proud to be part of the IBTS team and the values that it stands for. And thank you for your support.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don.
Does anybody have any questions for Scott or Matt? Scott, just real quick, you may not have an answer to this, but how long do you think before you anticipated time frame for the Go Well module? is up and running?
So, as Matt said, the Trello software that we're going to be using in the meantime, I think we gave a demonstration to the mayor the other day. I told him not to fall too much in love with it because one of our people who has some project management background designed how we're using that Trello software. And it really works so good, it's almost good enough for it to be our permanent solution. But GovWell's a little better. But because it's better and because it has more expansive capability, it takes a little while to set up. So it'll probably take, somewhere between 4 to 6 months to get it fully operational.
4 to 6 months from now?
For the GovWell. The Trello's going to go up probably November the 1st, like I said.
So you may have said this in the presentation, Matt. The Trello has the ability to track a complaint,
Oh, yes.
just
Yeah.
like Go Will. I think that's very important.
It has the ability to keep track of what's going on with it. The reporting back to the consumer is one of the features that it doesn't do. You can check back in, and see what the status is of the request, but that automatic reporting is something that's not built into.
Thank you.
Anybody else in Trello, man? I'll make just a small comment on Trello. I told them this the other day when I saw it. So, well, you're gonna have to prove to me that GovWell is good. The Trello is a pretty nifty program. It's something that I think that our residents will really appreciate. It creates a lot of visibility in the process. And I know it's not perfect apparently, but GovWell is a little bit better, but Trello is gonna be leaps and bounds from where we're at today.
Scott, until November 1st, are there issues the public still need to report to 311, and what are those?
Yes, until November the 1st, the parish has been kind enough. Look, I do want to say this. The parish has worked well with us during this transition process. There's a lot of things and services that are being provided right now by the parish. I want to recognize them for that because, our traffic camera maintenance, our school classroom maintenance, we have piggybacked on some of the grass cutting contracts that they already initiated. The 311 services in what you're asking me about, Drew, they've been kind enough to continue to accept those calls and give us logins where we were able to access the Q Alert system. So they will continue to help us out until we make that transition on November the 1st. So 311 is still an answer for calling in a work order at this time, but effective November the 1st, we'll make the transition.
Tentatively.
Come on, Scott, the number one rule in government politics, you can't give a hard date. Say November 1st, November 2nd. It'll be a offer, people will be able to, obviously, the goal is to have everything up and going by
November 1st is Saturday, so you have at least till Monday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruchi. I'll make just a few comments on some of these public work things. So the goal and really the priority is efficiency. The priority is being as transparent as we can. We made a post last week talking about potholes. I read some of the comments, so don't get crazy. I don't read all the comments. I read some of them. And some of the comments were based on the fact that a lot of people really don't know. To be honest with you, I had no idea how much a pothole costs to fill. I had no idea how much it costs to strike the road. I know how much it costs now. And that was the process of allowing the public to see that as well. These are your dollars. They don't belong to me. They don't belong to the council. They don't belong to IBTS. They belong to you. So not only should you get great customer service, which is a priority in everything in St. George, everybody that IBTS brings in, everybody that wears the St. George emblem on their chest gets the same speed from me. And it always starts with customer service, right? But another part of the process is educating our public. And I think that you have a right to know exactly where all your money's going. So that's really the goal here, It's not only you seeing the work being done, but you know how much the work costs. Because at the end of the day, there's only so much money, there's only so much work that can be done in one fiscal year. There's only so many roads that can be striped. One of the comments, I'll mention the road striping, because that's a hot topic all the time. They said, boy, your paint is cheap. I can't believe they're not striping the roads. And you know, you're right. Home Depot paint is cheap. I can get a gallon of paint for $25, $30. That's not the same type of paint. The same type of work. But I think it's important for the public to understand that and the public to see it. So we can set some realistic expectations. And then it also allows us to create not only short-term but long-term maintenance plans to get our city to where we want it to be. So, all right. That brings me to the next item on there, authorization for mayor to execute a contract with selected contractors for management and operations of public works department. This is a public item. Anybody from the public would like to talk on this item, now's your time. Name where you live, Monty.
Didn't want to disappoint you. Monty McNutt, Old Jefferson, 14925 Drive in St. George. I want to compliment you on the presentation for the DPW. In fact, talking with several other people, that one of the things that would be helpful to the public is a discussion of what you folks are approving. A lot of times, I know it's on the website, but it's really good to me, even if it's just brief, to talk about what you're looking at and what you're approving. So compliment to this. My comment to is, I encourage the priorities in the DPW to be drainage, underground drainage, and also in you mentioned the street sweeping for the appearance. Mowing will be a great benefit to the appearance as well. And understanding there's different entities that you have to work with, state and parish and local. But thank you for your efforts and presentation of information.
Anybody else like to make public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period this time. Council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Merle, second by Talbot. Any opposition? Hearing none, the item is approved. All right, so we have two special guests here tonight. We had Ms. Jennifer Richardson from Keep Tigertown Beautiful that was with us, and we got to present her with the very first key to the city. We also have Coach here with us, Mayor President Sid Edwards. So I will break tradition and rules here, and I will allow you to come up here and talk if you like. I'll tell you before Coach gets on the microphone, Coach has been wonderful to work with. He got an open door for her, and it's not just St. George, it's everywhere in the parish. In my time being in this parish, he's the most parish-driven, parish-centric mayor president that I've been around. So we appreciate that. He understands that in order for a great parish to be successful, now you have to have five great municipalities. So we certainly appreciate that from the city of St. George perspective. Coach?
Well, in honor of you, I just came to learn. I came to check it out, okay, and see what was going on in St. George. We tried to bump around a little bit and everything. I'm just proud. I really am. I'm impressed with everything y'all are doing. And just like the mayor said, I'm here to support and to help in any way we can. And I can't wait to see as this product, I call it a product, moves forward, because I know it's going to be beautiful. And shameless plug, November 15th, there's something on the ballot. Kind of check it out. It's called Thrive. I need as much support as I can get. My worry, Mayor, is LSU has a day game that day, and Southern University plays as well. So we're looking at a low voter turnout. But as long as the right turn out, I'll be happy. But thank you for letting me speak, and congratulations, and I'm going to keep watching.
All right, thank you, Coach.
God bless.
right, other announcements, city council meeting, next city council meeting will be October 14th, 2025 at 5 P.M. City council meeting after that will be Tuesday, October 28th, 2025 at 5 P.M. Our next board of adjustment meeting is Monday, October 6th, 2025 at 5 P.M. Our next planning commission meeting is Monday, October 6th, 2025 at 6 P.M. The zoning commission meeting is Monday, October 6th, 2025 at 6 P.M. And that's all I have. So I hear a motion, Max?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Himmel. Second. Anybody opposed to leaving?